Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles, the elders, salutations to you, sincere brothers, teaching in truth and in sincerity. This lesson will be entitled The Holy Spirit, Warlike Energy. John 18:1. When Yahushua had spoken these words, he went forth with his disciples over the brook Cedron, where was a garden, and to the which he entered, and his disciples. And Judas also, which betrayed him, knew the place, for Yahushua oft times resorted there with his disciples. Judas then, having received a band of men and officers from the chief priests and Pharisees, come there with lanterns and torches and weapons. Yahushua, therefore, knowing all things that should come upon him, went forth and said unto them, Whom seek ye? Verse 5. They answered him, Yahushua of Nazareth. Yahushua said unto them, I am he. And Judas also, which betrayed him, stood with them. Verse 6. As soon then as he had said unto them, I am he, they went backward and fell to the ground. Okay, this is an example of warlike energy. The Holy Spirit in the formats of warlike energy. So what Yahushua did was he manipulated the elements, all right, and created a force field. And due to this force field, what happened? These men flew backward, okay? Judges 16:23. Then the lords of the Philistines gathered them together for to offer a great sacrifice unto Dagon, their god, and to rejoice, for they said, Our power have delivered Samson, our enemy, into our hand. And when the people saw him, they praised their power, for they said, Our power have delivered into our hands our enemy, and the destroyer of our country, which slew many of us. And it came to pass, when their hearts were merry, that they said, Call for Samson, that he may make us sport. And they called for Samson out of the prison house, and he made them sport. And they set him between the pillars. And Samson said unto the lad that held him by the hand, Suffer me that I may feel the pillars whereupon the house stand, that I may lean upon them. Now the house was full of men and women, and all the lords of the Philistines were there. And there were upon the roof about 3,000 men and women that beheld while Samson made sport. And Samson called unto the Lord Yahweh and said, O Lord power, remember me, I pray thee, and strengthen me, I pray thee, only this once, O power, that I may be at once avenged of the Philistines for my 2 eyes. And Samson took hold of the 2 middle pillars upon which the house stood, and on which it was borne up, of the one which his right hand, and of the other with his left. And Samson said, Let me die with the Philistines. And he bowed himself with all his might, and the house fell upon the lords and upon all the people that were therein. So the dead which he slew at his death were more than they which he slew in his life. All right. And the reason why Samson was able to perform this miraculous act is because of the Holy Spirit in the format of warlike energy. And let's prove that. This is Judges chapter 15 and let me start at verse 12. Let's start at verse 9. Judges 15 and 9. Then the Philistines went up and pitched in Judah and spread themselves in Lehi. And the men of Judah said, Why are you come up against us? And they answered, To bind Samson are we come up, to do to him as he hath done to us. Then 3,000 men of Judah went to the top of the rock Etam, and said to Samson, Know thou not that the Philistines are rulers over us? What is this that you have done unto us? And he said unto them, As they did unto me, so have I done unto them. And they said unto him, We are come down to bind thee, that we may deliver thee into the hand of the Philistines. And Samson said unto them, Swear unto me that ye will not fall upon me yourselves. And they spake unto him, saying, No, but we will bind thee fast and deliver thee into their hand, but surely we will not kill thee. And they bound him with 2 new cords, and brought him up from the rock. And when he came unto Lehi, the Philistines shouted against him, and the Spirit of the Lord Yahweh came mightily upon him, and the cords that were upon his arms became as flax that was burnt with fire, and his bands loosed from off his hands. And he found a new jawbone of an ass, and put forth his hand, and took it, and slew 1,000 men therewith. And the reason why Samson was able to do this is because of the Holy Spirit, all right, in the format of war-like energy. How do we know? Because the Spirit of Yahweh came upon him in chapter 15, and also in the previous account in chapter 16. All right, and the Spirit of Yahweh was upon Yahushua. That is the reason Yahushua was able to compose, all right, that force field. All right, for spirit, Strong's H 7307 in the Hebrew, pronounced as Rawaka, all right, which means, let's get to the point, G3, imparting warlike energy and executive and administrative power, okay? Imparting warlike energy and executive and administrative power, all right? See, this is another angle of the Holy Spirit, okay? Second let me see. My bad. 2 Samuel 23 and 8. I'm tripping. Yeah, 2 Samuel 23 and verse 8. These be the names of the mighty men whom David had. The Tachmonite that sat in the seat, chief among the captains. The same was Adino the Eznite. He lifted up his spear against 800, whom he slew at one time. And after him was Eleazar, the son of Dodo, the Ahohite, one of the 3 mighty men with David when they defied the Philistines that were They are gathered together to battle, and the men of Israel were gone away. He arose and smote the Philistines until his hand was weary, and his hand cleaved unto the sword. And the Lord Yahweh wrought a great victory that day, and the people returned after him only to spoil. All right. Now, if we continue to read further within this chapter, all right, it's going into the awesome acts of the mighty men of King David. And the reason why they were able to perform these miraculous acts is because of the Holy Spirit in the format of warlike energy. The Spirit of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua came upon them. Okay. Last precept. 2 Samuel 22 and verse 29. For thou art my lamp, O Lord Yahweh, and the Lord Yahweh will lighten my darkness. Verse 30. For by you I have run through a troop, an army, but my power, it's like it, by my power have I leaped over a wall. And the reason why King David was able to perform this miraculous act is because the Spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua came upon him. All right. Another example of the Holy Spirit and warlike energy. Lord will, you are edified. Shalom.